Okay. Cool.
Hi,
Kayla. Wow, your hair looks amazing. It's like shining in the light.
It's mad, isn't it? I know.
Lush.
I've just been doing some gardening. I had to pull myself away. I'm like chopping all the brambles. I'm creating like a little like den for the kids in the corner.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is us, right? Until James comes a bit later?
That is right, yeah.
Okay, great. So Amy and I were thinking that it might be quite nice to start off with a little bit of movement to help us kind of just land and find our space. So I'm going to hand over to Amy because Amy's the groove master, movement love. Yeah. Oh, I think we just lost Zoe.
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Does everyone feel comfortable to do a bit of moving?
I'm in a very tiny space in my bedroom.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of space.
Me too.
I think we've all done it together before.
Okay.
It's a chakra song, so you can even do it sitting down if you want. It's just like basically hands nice and loose. And we're just going to basically start at the root chakra and just work our way up and just kind of have a shake out in front of the chakra, if that makes sense. So we'll just start off in the root and then bring it up. And then we have to, so there's actually not a beat for the head. You just have to make it up for the head. And then basically,
Is it that amazing song, Amy?
Yeah, it's the chakra beatbox one.
Wow, I haven't heard that since I started groove with you at the beginning.
Really? Oh,
Back in
Okay. So basically, kind of like you can even do it sitting down if you want, but nice. I'll take this off for a second. But just nice and soft knees, and just kind of shaking it all out. So you can bring in your whole body. Oh, James is here. James is here. Awesome. So like I say, we'll start off at the root chakra, get to the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, head, and shake it down. And the beat kind of gets a little bit faster as we go. So I think James is here. But
Hi, James.
James, are you here?
Hello.
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 Yeah.
We're just doing a little bit of shaking with the chakra beatbox song.
In the next few minutes.
I think we did that together, James, at the beginning of Empowered Health, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
You can just let the movement.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so here we go. Yeah, getting in the groove there. And here we go. If you can hear that, just going to start off at the root. Bring it up to the sacral. That space. Right. Third eye. And head. Or crown chakra. And just shake it down. And again. A little bit faster. Third eye. Head. And shake it down. This time really fast. Yeah. Right. Third eye. Head. Shake it down. And again. Root. Solar plexus. Up. Throat. Third eye. Head. Shake it off. Woo! Awesome. Yes. Well done, everybody.
Oh, that was so good. What a great start. I think I need that every morning in my life. Thanks, Amy. So I thought we would then now, just after the mad shaking of whatever we needed to shake out, we could come back to ourselves and our spot and finding a comfortable position to find some still. And I invite you to close your eyes if you want to. Getting really comfortable, maybe a blankie or something, whatever you feel you need right now in this moment. Take it for yourself. We're here together, sharing this energy that we've just created and finding our still. And maybe just checking in with our breath, seeing how it's naturally flowing now after all of that movement, and not necessarily trying to control it in any way, just noticing your breathing and that it's there for you in every moment to check in with. It is our flow of life. You might be able to feel your chest rise and your belly rise and your belly fall and your chest fall. And finding the knowing that that is yours and it is always there to come back to. You might notice things that are in your heart or in your mind, things that are coming up for you, just noticing them and saying hello to them. They're welcome. And just letting things go with our breath. You might be able to hear sounds around you, inside the room that you're in, or inside the building you're in. Just checking in with them. You might be able to hear sounds from outside, trees or birds or cars. And just knowing that those things make up our world. Don't need to be our whole world, but they are part of it. And as we notice all those sounds, our breath is still carrying us. Our bottoms are on chairs or beds or rugs or cushions, floors, and we are held there. And below, wherever we sit, is the earth, our Mother Earth, and she's holding us. Right now, wherever we are, whatever's in our hearts, whatever's in our minds, we're held and we're loved, and all of us is welcome. So just taking a few breaths here in this safe, welcome, open space. and taking just a minute just to recognize that you've shown up today just by coming here, by bringing yourself to our tribe, for sharing and listening, and how special and necessary that is in these times right now. You might want to take some deeper breaths, filling your lungs and your belly, letting it all go. And when you feel ready, you might like to squeeze your fingers together gently, pressing your thumb on each of the tips of your fingers as you move along. You might like to squeeze your hands together gently, and maybe move your wrists around, and gently opening up your eyes when you feel ready, with your wrists moving, feeling that flow. And stretching up. And we're arrived. I'm not able to see Kayla or James at the moment. I'm not sure if it's mine or...
Yeah, I think that Kayla's not there, but James, I think, is on another call until 11.
Oh, I see.
They're
Okay.
still here, but they're not here. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Shona. That was lovely.
Oh, it's lovely to be here with everyone, and you know, even over on the screen, it's still lovely to just see everyone and be in the same space together. Thanks for the lovely movement, Amy. I loved it. Lovely. So we thought that maybe a good way to start would just be a kind of a sort of a personal check-in, really. You know, how you're doing. Well-being check-in, and then maybe as you move through the check-in, you might find something, you might want to share something that is coming up for you with your projects, your work. That might come through in your check-in, it might not, that's okay. And yeah, we'll go around and see how everyone's doing, and then we'll move forward, and we might find a common thread or something that comes up from our check-ins, and maybe do another round of sharing after that. Does that sound okay with everyone? Great. So yeah, I will just hand over really. If whenever anyone feels like going, they can.
Hello, I'll start. Nice to be here. Thanks for that, Amy and Shona. It's a lovely start. Feeling quite strange at the moment, quite fragile and sensitive. I think is like the last 3 days it's been like that. Things don't feel quite right in my body, mind, like all levels. I'm kind of like something's off, or I feel like I'm on the precipice or something. Yeah, so that's kind of the majority of it really. I anxiety's been quite high as well. I've been very aware of the kindness of people and of strangers, and very affected by the hatred from others. So yeah, just really feeling that sensitivity, that duality of things that are going on in the world at the moment, while trying to tread water and keep myself above the low mood as much as possible, and move forward with things that I think would make me feel better and feel like I'm living life. I feel like for a long time I've just been letting it pass me by, so I'm trying to grab at it again and explore what I'm passionate about, a bit more, like being, how is it, I think Brené Brown puts it, is like being curious, essentially, like curious about all these things. So I'm definitely holding on to that word, because that's helping me to view things in a more light perspective. Yeah, and along with that, is, as I said in the group, I have dropped a day at work, or I will be in a couple of weeks, and I went to Fire and Flux, which is a pottery studio in Norwich where you can hire space, yesterday to double check, and I will be hiring a wheel and a desk for a day a week. So that feels really good. Quite nervous about it as well, having to get my hand back in, and knowing that at the moment failures really trigger me, and I see them as a real big deal, like I might like make a mistake and I see it as this massive thing. So there's a bit of fear about that, and but I think having the awareness will help me to take the breaths when I need to. And yeah, I've also been looking into getting some plaques to do some pyrography again. So I'm really getting back into the crafting, which, or about to, which feels very nervous exciting. Like, yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, doing lots of things to try and kind of support my perspective, staying neutral if not positive. It's kind of where I'm at the moment, I think. I think that's the nutshell. So thank you all for listening. Love to all.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm feeling better than I have been. Had a few weeks feeling pretty crap, to be honest. I think a combination of relationship difficulties and like the just never-ending, grinding, relentless corona anxiety that just seems to pervade into everything, and our holiday falling through, and just, you know, a lot of things just seem to kind of pile up, and just felt very unmotivated about everything. Like, I was just knackered. I didn't want to do my day job. I didn't want to do any artwork. I didn't want to do like my courses. I just was like, I don't want to do anything. I did have a weekend properly doing nothing, and it did help a bit. So it's a good reminder to, yeah, the art of doing nothing is actually really important to like recharge. I'm just not very good at allowing myself to do it. I'm very good at, you know, one of those things where I give the advice to other people, but I don't follow it myself. So yeah. But I am feeling a bit more rejuvenated now, and yeah, work, like day job work, is quite stressful at the moment. I feel like I'm trying to fit my like 4 days work into 3 days, so it's quite trying. But it's also still only 3 days, so even though that 3 days is stressful, I can still switch off my computer on a Wednesday and then just be like, I don't need to think about it now. So largely that seems to be working. And I've actually got quite excited about, so I think the last message I left on the group was about the new course that I'm running with Art Pocket, and I was feeling really like, I don't want to do it. I don't know why I said yes to it, blah, blah, blah. But I've managed to kind of find a new way to kind of reframe it as making it feel more like me and less sort of like being a teacher. So I'm going to make it really all about sharing stuff that I find inspiring. I hope that it'll inspire other people, and it's going to be, the emphasis is going to be very much on like permission to play, basically, and permission to just experiment, and encouraging people to just try things out that they've maybe never tried before, and not worry too much about the outcomes, and just, yeah. So that feels exciting now. Still feels like a lot of work to do in a very short space of time. I've left it right to the last minute, which is one of my, like, I'm such a procrastinator. I've known about it since August, and I'm now like a week and a half before the course starts going, shit. I've got it like all kind of loosely in my head, but actually getting it down on to some kind of thing that I can share is yeah, well, I'll just do it week by week, I think. Hope for the best. But yeah, I feel a bit more excited about that now, so it's good. And I'm really loving the postgrad course, which is really intense, really full on. It's like 10 till 5, and it is non-stop, really, really deep diving into some quite this first term's theme is retrospective, so we're looking back on our art practice, but also on our lives and how our lives have informed our art practice. And it's quite sort of soul searching and uncovering a lot of stuff, so it's really good. I'm really enjoying it, but I come home absolutely knackered. I'm just like like creativity and brain work and emotion and all sorts, so it's good. But and I guess feeling a bit I've been feeling a bit disconnected, I guess, with not really seeing people that much face to face, but that's just how things are at the moment. And this is really nice to see everybody. Even if it's on a screen, it still feels like, it's still connection, it's still seeing people, isn't it? It's really lovely. So yeah, cool. Thank you, everybody.
I'm personally having a very tricky. Oh, I think we've lost Zoe. Hopefully she's come back. Having a really tricky time with my family at the moment. There's been a really big upheaval in my family, which it's been less than a week really that I've found this out, and it's just completely swayed me really. I felt like I was doing really well, and I was kind of focused on my projects and my plans and feeling quite grounded and stable, and I guess that is a shock as well, that I can be so pushed off pushed out of my place, I guess, from something that has nothing even to do with me, so that's been really difficult this week. And I feel like everything's been taken away. Actually, I feel like I've lost everything. I feel like I've lost my connection with my dreams and my goals and things like that we've been talking about and sharing about here. And then this morning, what came to me was that actually, whatever goes on outside of me, I'm still myself. Like, I still have myself, and my experiences and my heart and my ideas, they still live on throughout this mess. And I guess I have a choice really of how I kind of choose to play my next steps, whether I whether I get just bogged down with this, or that I can just step close enough to the things that give me joy and love and passion, that I'm then kind of re-emerged in it again. And then once I'm in. I really know that process of stepping, just going that little bit, stepping in, and then it's like, oh yes, like that's what that was, and that's what that feels like. So I'm working with that really at the moment, and it's all very new. And I guess it's kind of brought up for me what my barriers are to doing the stuff that I would like to do. And one of them being external stuff, I guess, that's going on around me, very close to me. So yeah, I'm feeling quite sad, quite wobbly, and also very grateful, and knowing that I have great friends, a great community around me, and that those things still exist in life that I have loved before, really. So yeah, that's where I am. I think I'll stop there because I could probably go on about it for ages. Thank you. Hi James, we're just doing a check-in. I think Zoe's gone again. We're just sort of doing a rounds of check-in and seeing how people are doing. Okay, and Kayla, hiya.
Sorry, I don't know who I missed listening to. My computer cut out.
So yeah, Kate, Rachel, and I have checked in so far.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go then. I've been waiting for a very long time. Well, I'm really excited about the fact that I've moved. Well, I've actually stolen my husband's desk, and I've put it. I don't know if you can see. I've put it so that I get to have this view when I look up from the screen. And sometimes the cows join me, which is amazing. But then I've realised, because of the way I'm facing, it's not great for, well, I look very illuminated. I look like I've never been out in the sun in my life. So, because I was thinking about, like, if I'm doing like lives or whatever, this would be a good place to sit, but I might need to rethink that slightly. But it's still a good place to do writing, I think. Yeah. Well, I'm in the process. I'm definitely feeling that kind of autumny pull of decluttering, because I'm just so desperate to like chuck stuff out at the moment. Like, I've got baby clothes coming out of my ears. Every room is just full of clothes that I don't even like. What are they doing? But I'm not very good at chucking stuff out. Sometimes I'm very sentimental, and yeah, so I think I'm kind of putting it off as well. And I'm really wanting to sort my shed out, because that was meant to be my creative space for me. And it's just such a mess. It's like loads of furniture in it. So what I want to do is take everything out, but I can't in a way because the floor is wet, because the grass is just not drying. So, but I really want to try and create that shed so that I can put I've got this wonderful big red rug, so I can have circles in there in the winter. although I don't have any heating, so I'm going to look into the possibility if I can get like solar. I know you can get solar lighting for sheds. I'm just looking in to see if I can get solar heating for sheds or not, so that I can carry on meeting with people, because I'm really feeling, I'm starting to feel quite like I really need my friends around me, and trying to like remember who my friends are. Because I kind of moved out here in the country and not really know anybody. I was trying to make links in Pouring Land with other mums and babies, and then everything stopped. But yeah, I've made the effort the last week or two, and I've made sure like I met up with a couple of friends in the week, and that really helped lift my spirits. Yeah, because I think in the summer I felt very like, you know, oh, I'm in my family bubble and I don't need anyone else. I just love my family, and you know, and now that just there's a shift for me, I think I just feel like I really need to connect more. But yeah, I'm feeling a little wobbly as well, actually. I'm in my wild woman phase of my cycle, which is crazy because obviously we're in the wild woman phase of the year. So that's a lot of, you know, it's really interesting tracking cycles, because it's also like the moon, with the moon, we're waxing, aren't we? So it's like I'm feeling that need to do stuff, but then I feel like I kind of spiral out too quickly with the wild woman, and forget to stay grounded, or forget how to do it, and get too caught up in my head and thinking, like I keep thinking about everything. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit pulled between family and trying to set up this business thing, and part of me wanting, and this kind of pull between wanting to have my own time and my own space to be me and be creative. And that just feels really hard. That feels quite conflicting with my family, because they need me so much. There's like less room for me to be creative and have my own space, but the less time I have on my own, the more kind of mad I feel like I become. And then the less able I am to parent well. So, you know, so it's like really hard to create some kind of balance and know what's achievable, you know, like I have 1 hour to myself a day. And that's only 2 days a week. So I have Monday to Friday, I have 2 hours on my own. That's it. And it's really hard because it's like, well, do I do the domestic stuff? Do I do some gardening, which I really need to do? Do I do tidying? You know, and there's just not enough time to do everything. And then I get so anxious that I end up doing nothing. So, you know, but a hallelujah for Saturdays, because that is my day. Yes. So I can do whatever I want to. And I just feel like I am spending every available second trying to work on my business. And I do feel like actually I think I need to do more things that bring me joy, like dancing and gardening and singing and writing or whatever, you know. That's not like I'm on a computer and I'm trying to create a poster, or oh, what's my target audience, and like all that stuff. It's just getting a little bit much. Especially now we're getting to winter. It's like, oh, I just want to shed all of that now, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop. Because I could just carry on forever. But yeah, that's where I'm at anyway. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, that makes it me. Again, really sorry. I thought I was free today. And then a message came like a few hours after I posted saying, I'm easy. Like, this thing is on Saturday. Oh yeah, I was meant to put that in the calendar a month ago. Yeah, life's been a little bit like that lately. But that's okay. I today am massively inspired because I watched a free presentation on the superconscious yesterday, which after doing a whole 6-week course on it, I don't know, finished like 3 weeks ago. This was like the whole course plus a little bit in 2 hours. And it basically matches what I already do, which is really ridiculously exciting. And I now feel like I've got so much that I can say about what I do in real technical language that works. That might not make any sense until I say that I haven't actually posted anything about what I do for the last month or so. Started off really well, had a really good week, posted every day, something went out. And then we got some news, which I'll say at the very end, and something had to go. So that went. But meantime, I've been blessed to give a couple of amazing sessions, which people really loved, and experience a session from someone else, which was amazing. Felt extremely structured version of what I do. But like it didn't exactly help me in the way that I hoped it would, which is really interesting because now I need to find out the difference between me and a couple of the people I've worked with so that I know more about who my ideal client is, which was another part of it relating to Kayla. Totally wish I could leave that behind. Just be done already. I know who it is, don't I? Really? Oh, no. It's not specific enough, or like, yeah. Do they have any money? Yeah. So I am gonna stop talking because I don't know what I'm going to say next. Thank you.
Thanks, James. I guess that just leaves me. Yeah, it's always quite like daunting, isn't it, when it's your turn? I'm always like, I don't know what to say, but then loads comes out. So I feel like so I think last time we gathered, I shared that I was going to run an in-person groove, maybe here, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe it was here. And it feels like since I said yes to that things have just been like popping up and popping up and popping up, and like it's almost like I said yes to groove in general, and things have just been arising. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good to be back in person and groove with people that I love, and yeah, it was amazing. It was just pure medicine for my soul, and you know, it wasn't the usual kind of thing where we just all move around and we'll be able to, you know, get into each other's spaces, and but it still worked really well, and we all had a good laugh and a good cry, and you know, everything was welcome, which is what groove is all about. You know, come as you are. I feel quite emotional today actually, which is unexpected. Anyway, but since I said yes to that, you know, people have been like, I really want to come. So I've kind of booked another few in-person ones, and really excited. I also thought to myself, I don't have any like pics or photos of me grooving. So Rachel has so kindly agreed to come and do a photo shoot with me. So yeah, so I'll be putting some feelers out for any willing groovers who would be okay to be photographed. And yeah, it feels like as well, like my whole body feels different, almost like, I don't know, I've got some kind of my old shine back or something. And yeah, I think, you know, basically just really thinking about, you know, I've spent a lot of time like walking dogs and like, you know, hanging out with Kate and dogs, and yeah, anyway, I'm trying to feel, I don't really know what I'm trying to say. But it feels like, yeah, like I said yes. I've said yes to life. I've said yes to groove. Said yes to me. I've said, you know, being in this world fully, and it feels really awesome. Yeah, and I'm really excited as well. I'm going to do that thing. I'm not going to quite get my hopes up, but ages and ages and ages ago, like February time, I applied for a grant, some funding, sorry, to, you know, This Girl Can campaign, to kind of get women active, girls and women active, basically. It's called This Girl Can. And they were offering some funding to kind of, yeah, get communities of girls and women moving and building confidence and all these things. So I put together a bid, which I did all by myself, actually. I'm quite proud. And I sort of sent it off, and, you know, obviously didn't hear anything, and obviously the COVID situation happened, and I think it was about August, I got an email from them saying, you know, we're re-looking, we're sort of opening again to looking at the applications, blah blah blah. And I thought, oh yeah, you know, it sounds like they've got massively overwhelmed with stuff, with applications. So I just did that thing of not getting my hopes up, but also, you know, enjoying the little dreaming of, oh, you know, it would be amazing if this could happen. So yeah, so I got an email from them basically this week saying that they really like my application and they want to take my application to stage 2. So I was like, oh my God. And then I thought, I don't even remember what I said I was doing. Like, what happens now? And I sort of looked through my emails and I couldn't find the application. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to email them and ask them to send me, you know, how unprofessional does that look? I'm going to have to ask them to send me a copy of my own application, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but I did find it. I found my application. It was like an untitled document that was saved randomly in my Google Docs. So I was just like, oh my God, thank you, universe, that I found it. And I read it and I was like, oh my God, Amy, that sounds really good. So it was like, yeah, it sounded really good. And I thought, did I actually write that? I actually wrote that myself. So I just want to, had a little celebration of myself there. So yeah, so that's a possibility. It just feels like everything is opening up and groove is happening. And yeah, I think it's quite shit. Sorry, yeah, I won't say sorry. I'll say thank you for your patience and listening to me and hearing me. Just one more thing. There was a moment in time where I was focusing on like my coaching. I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again, on my coaching and like my course. But now groove has sort of taken a bit of a front seat, and that's kind of, yeah, it feels like it's flowing really easily. So I'm just going to kind of go with that a little bit more, and still obviously keep intuitively nourished sort of here, but groove is sort of here. So yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. Yeah, thank you all so much for listening and being here and sharing. I love you all.
Thanks everyone. I've just messaged Zoe actually because I don't know if anyone else has heard from her, but we've sort of lost her. I'm just hoping that she's okay.
Yeah, I did. I messaged her as well. I think it's probably something to do with her internet connection.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully she'll get back to one of us in a message or something, or join us.
All right, bless her. Okay. Oh, it's so lovely to hear everyone and you know where we are right now. So yeah, as I was listening, I guess I was trying to like listen out for like common threads really that are kind of weaving between us, and I was hearing about the kind of struggles and pulls and imbalances perhaps and things that like that are kind of taking us away from ourselves perhaps, and then also all of the magic that's kind of happening really around all of that, and the play and the inspiration. So I wrote down some questions actually, which I think I'm just going to read out, and then maybe from there we can go into another kind of round of sharing or just chatting about something based around that. Let's see how everyone feels. So the questions that I wrote down were what inspires us? Why do we keep going? What brings us joy? What do we say yes to? What practices move us and are meaningful to us? What opens us up? What helps us take our seat? What is our medicine? And what brings us our shine?
Can you read them again, but a lot slower?
Yes, so yeah, of course I can, yeah.
Maybe you could put them in the chat, not on here, but maybe in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'll write them. Yeah, I'll send them in the WhatsApp group, shall I? Yeah. I'll read them again though. So what brings us joy? Why do we keep going? What inspires us? What do we say yes to? What practices move us and are meaningful to us? What opens us up? What helps us take our seat? What is our medicine? And what brings us our shine?
And what was the one you said about the practices? I didn't get that one.
What practices move us and are meaningful to us?
What does what helps us take our seat mean?
So what do we do? What helps us, supports us, moves us to, I guess, take our power. You know, step into that place where we want to be and be sitting from a place of alignment, really, with where we want to be heading. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's what it means to me in this moment. So yeah, as I was listening to everyone, I was writing these questions out of what I was hearing, and that's really useful, I think, for me. I've got a lot of questions there to kind of take away to help guide and direct me. And I wonder if we've got an hour. I wonder if some of the time we maybe take some of those questions and do some sharing about what that means for us. So how do we take our seat? You know, what practices are meaningful to us? What inspires us, and what's our medicine? I guess within that we're going to be able to share some, not only kind of connect with that for ourselves, but you know, be sharing that with others, and that might inspire us together as a group. Things that we might not have thought of ourselves. Yeah, Amy, did you want to say anything about the sharing and threads?
No, that's beautiful, because I've just written down a few things as well, and I wrote down what a couple of you were talking about, kind of the barriers that you come up against, And then it almost feels like a couple of you also said, doing the things that bring me joy. So it almost feels like that's possibly a way for overcoming those barriers, is sort of, you're sort of answering your own thing, which I found really interesting. And I wrote down permission to play and staying curious, because I know a couple of you were talking about the nervous excitement of like running something new, or making a change. So having those things there, and yeah, it just feels like those questions are medicine for the stuff that the nervous excitement, like it's all okay if we sort of stay curious and keep the playfulness and keep that with us somehow. So yeah, these questions just feel beautiful and really like reflective of possibly where we're all in different things, different stages, and we're also in there's also some common threads that people are in similar situations, whether it's starting something new or perhaps feeling a bit wobbly and not knowing what's happening. We all go through those phases. So it'll be good to it almost feels like everyone's sort of complementing each other in a way in different phases.
Thanks, Amy. I think that's hearing about all the play and have I lost? Am I gone? Oh, Amy, maybe Amy's frozen. Hopefully she'll come back. So, and even if it feels difficult, like from my seat right now, I'm finding it actually quite difficult to check in with those questions and answer them for myself, I think, because of where I am right now, and I know that is temporary. So I think when I think about my seat right now of like, I'm personally seeing a lot of boundaries and struggling. Amy's really gone. Am I still here? Like, am I still?
Yeah, you're still here. Yeah.
You are still here. We've not reached the twilight zone. It's all right. Everyone, just check your faces. Are we still here, everyone? Quick.
God.
Hey.
Oh, Amy, welcome back.
Thanks. Sorry about that. I was wondering, because I was talking, obviously, and everyone was just looking at me with really blank faces. I was like, oh, I'm just rambling and no one's understanding me, but you're all frozen.
We heard you, and then it just went frozen like at the very end, I think. So and I was just saying, Amy, that even if we're feeling like those questions feel like, oh god, fuck, I have no idea how to fucking take my seat right now, like I really don't know. Actually, if we check in with what feels like something I heard in the sharing, that I know that I need my friends around me, I know that I need to maybe cut down on work and find a creative space, or I need to cut some stuff out and reconnect with my goals and things like that. We can even start from those spaces. It doesn't have to be like, well, I get up and do yoga every morning at 7 o'clock and then I go for this walk and I do all these great things. Any small little snippets of gold really is what we're, I guess, wanting to check in with. How does that feel for everyone? Because there might be something else that's coming up for people.
Feels good for me.
Are we going to answer some of those questions now then and then share? Or maybe we could choose like our top 3 out of them to reflect on now or something? I don't know.
Yeah, we could either just do a kind of a sharing round and kind of tune into that, or maybe we could take a bit of a few minutes just now and just kind of check in with that, with, I don't know, a question or a couple of questions, and then share. What do people feel?
Yeah, I feel like I need a little bit of time just to reflect on them
Yeah, okay.
could answer them, if you know what I mean. So maybe like 5 minutes just to do a little bit of thinking and maybe a bit of journaling or something.
Yeah, great. Is everyone all right with that?
That sounds good. Sweet.
All right, so let's does anyone need me to write the questions in the group, or are you okay?
I've taken a picture of them and put them in the WhatsApp chat.
Oh, fab. Amazing.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, she did. Look like.
Oh, sorry, I'm not on mute.
Yeah.
If anyone feels like they're struggling right now, or would, you know, we can always go off into a breakout room or something if anyone would value that. Okay. Yeah. Let me just I think I actually need Amy to break us out though, Kate.
Sorry, I will do that. I'm just trying to get my laptop up and running again, just on my phone.
Thanks, love.
So you can just
What's
bear
the
with me
deal,
one sec.
So Kate, you'll get a little message that pops up on the screen and it will say, accept, go into the room. All right?
Is it just 1-to-1 in the room, or I don't want to take up space if Kate needs a bit of time?
Well, I can go with Kate. And Amy, are you available to go with Kayla? Great.
Yes, for sure.
Great.
I'm just gonna get Zoom back up on my laptop so I can do it, because it doesn't seem, I can't seem to do it from my phone. So bear with.
Did any of us do it then, Ames? Because at one point it said it came up with I'm the host now because you'd gone.
Oh, I can make you a host.
Or
Participant.
Shona if she knows how to do it. I don't actually know.
Yeah. If you can make me a host, then I can just whip Kate into a room.
Okay.
You're away.
You might need to do Kayla and Amy too if you're the host.
Yeah, because I'm recording, Shona. Should I stop recording then, or does it just record the main room? Do you know?
I don't know if it will record into the other room. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, I'm nearly there. So, oh, you're doing it anyway, aren't you? So it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm trying to see me, but I can't see me to get me and Kate out. I can get you and Kayla out.
Okay, bear with me. I just need to find the meeting.
Add a room, Kate, and why can't I go in that room?
Sorry, I just went to the loo. What's happening?
Oh, I'm just going in a breakout room with Kate to have a chat, to go through some questions. And Amy's going in a breakout room with Kayla, and we're just sort of journaling, trying to answer out the questions before we come back and share.
Okay, cool.
So I reckon another sort of 10 minutes really, if that's okay with everyone. I'm going to join Kate.
Just I'll be back in a sec. Hi.
Hello. You're on the TV.
Oh, it's really confusing because you're like looking up here somewhere.
Yeah, I've got my laptop on my lap, which is pointing up at me, and then the TV is above me.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm moving the mouse trying to get onto the TV to unmute, and then moving back to the screen to type.
Ooh, that explains it. I was like, what's going on up there?
You're going on up there.
Hi. Oh, right. Okay, are we just sort of discussing? Sorry, I feel like I missed what.
Yeah, we can talk and or write whatever's coming up around those questions.
Okay.
Did you manage to write the questions down?
I did, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you fancy doing? Chatting or writing or a bit of both?
I've written. So yeah, I don't mind. I'm happy to give you time to write.
Okay.
Writing comes first for you, or talk?
I guess just thinking.
Go for it.
Just jot down a few things. It might all come down to like the same things, really.
Well, that's a very focused list, if that's true.
Maybe not all the same things, but nature, beauty, creativity seem to keep coming up.
Amazing.
How about you?
Wait, that really aligns with what you do.
Yeah. That's true.
I've got quite a few different things. So meaningful things are Qigong and Yin Yoga and sharing circles. Things that bring me joy are sunrise, sunset, birds and nature, and music. Things that help me take my seat are a clear space, intention, and inspirational trainings, like yesterday. And then things that inspire me are people, like you guys, and like Emily Jackson and Dean Graziosi. Why do I keep going? To create what I would love. No other reason than I would love it. Things I say yes to are creating an abundant, super conscious coaching business. Whoop. And family in big letters. Things that move me is Qigong and a couple of practices online, a continuum and death rituals, which is basically the power of stillness. Things that open me up, sharing circles. Things that bring me shine are dream co-creators sessions. That's the biggest one. Medicines, magic mushrooms, yin yoga, meditation, and dream co-creators sessions. I think that was all the questions.
Yeah.
So they're all somewhat different, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely links and there's definitely overlaps in there. I actually think it's good to have, one thing I'm realizing is it's really good to have something that's almost a bit separate to my thing, if you know what I mean. It's like nature, beauty, creativity, yes, great. But if that's all I'm ever doing, then I'm kind of never switching off from the thing. You know, the thing is creating this, me as an artist, me as an art facilitator. But I sometimes just need to lie on the sofa and watch Netflix. I realise this now, and it needs to do something completely.
Oh, hang on, I lost you.
No,
What happened?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I think I should be able to hear you now.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's like having like rest. That doesn't necessarily mean doing nothing and switching off completely and sleeping. It's like something that's like just purely for the fun and the joy of it, and not in any way kind of edifying or personal development. Or that weekend when I just crashed, when I was meant to go on holiday and I didn't, various reasons, I just crashed and lay on the sofa. I was like, I don't want to do anything to do with personal development right now. I want to just read this novel for fun, and I want to watch stuff on Netflix for fun. It was just, oh yeah, I actually really need to remember that I need to do that sometimes, just properly completely switch off from everything. So I think that's, might put that in there somewhere. Rest, switch off, Netflix. Yeah, maybe that's what keeps me going in a certain way. Rest. Yeah, I find it really hard to do, but maybe that's the medicine.
Oh yeah.
I think it needs to be something really, I don't know, deep or something. But actually, sometimes it just needs to be the opposite for me. I think it's proper time out. Yeah, talking to someone at work the other day, and they're saying what they do at the end of the day at work, and they just sort of crash out on the sofa and eat some food and watch some telly. And I was like, oh, I run these courses, or I plan these courses, or I do some artwork, or I do some courses that I'm doing, or I don't often just sit do nothing. So I do something really relaxing.
Yeah, I'm the same with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have work anymore, but there's just a few people in my life who seem to be able to do nothing for a day.
Yeah.
I'm like, how have you ended the day feeling bored?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't get that. Like, I've got colleagues who've been furloughed and stuff for a while at work, and people saying, like, oh, I just don't know what to do with my time. I'm like, really? I could just.
have you heard of the internet?
I just don't think I feel like I could have all the time in the world, and I'd never get all the things done that I want to do, and watch all the things I want to watch, and read all the things I want to read, and yeah. Maybe that's the thing. Allowing time to be bored.
Ooh.
I think actually when I'm really, I mean, I don't often feel bored anymore, but when I really do just do nothing like that, just crash on the sofa, it's often after that that my most creative ideas come up, because I've allowed the switch off, like a reboot.
That's when we start listening.
Because I think if I get into doing mode, then there's no space for those creative ideas and things to come up. Yeah. Do you feel like you're quite all consumed with your project, or do you feel able to take space? Oh,
I was. Hello.
hello.
Hiya. Oh, have we lost?
They're still in the breakout, I suppose.
Oh yeah, but Amy seems to be here.
That's probably her phone, I'm guessing.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's into.
Sorry if we interrupted you there by popping back up.
Okay. Oh, we've got loads
Oh,
of it.
yeah. I was going to go in and join them and sneak in and see what they're doing. Hiya.
Hello.
Hello again.
Oh, now I can't hear you. Hang on. Okay, you're back. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Should you see that tab? Like, we're all here. We're here.
Raise your arms, I know you're not frozen.
All right. Okay. Well, I found that time and space really, really helpful, actually. So, shall we? Does everyone feel comfortable to just kind of go around and share what they have to share? And just being mindful of ourselves. Like, we're all in different situations right now. We've all got different stuff going on, and we'll take little snippets from people's things, and then maybe we'll come back to things that people have shared, and that might be useful another time. And we're here together. All right, you're right, Kate, sorry.
I was just going to say, I find it quite helpful, and I quite enjoy doing it. I don't know if everyone feels the same. One person talks, doing a little bit of feedback just after, if people are wanting to do that. So, yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Kate. I'm going to mute out and listen in.
So I'm wondering as well, I'm just a little bit mindful of time, and just so that everyone can get a chance to have a go, if everyone's okay to sort of be timed.
Yeah.
No, it's not always the funnest of things.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
And it always
30.
feels like we just need like a whole day or something to really get involved. But yeah, just so that we can respect time and just make sure it's fair for everyone. How much time? We've got about 40 minutes. So maths.
So if we have 5 each and then a couple each for feedback, would that be right?
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
Thank you, great. So 5 minutes each of sharing, and then 2 minutes ish of feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we going to?
We'll be on the wire to then go, but
Is anybody pressed for time and needing to go on the dot? I don't mind if we run over 5-10 minutes or something.
Okay. Yeah, 5-10 minutes is great.
Okay, great. So yeah, I think 5 minutes each, Amy, and then when we give our mirroring, our feedback kind of thing, like keeping it as brief, but you know, sorry, I don't want to be too, just thinking of time, and yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to do like a Changemakers like day or something eventually.
Oh yeah.
Or, like retreat or something. Okay, I'll mute.
I never go first, so I'm going to go first. Quite a lot of things actually were like the same answer. So what inspires me? I wrote nature, beauty, creativity. Why do I keep going? As above, plus people. And then what brings me joy? As above, plus people, plus my cat. But then we were, me and James were talking, and I guess I started thinking about like, what is my medicine? And I'd written like as above, and it's like I can't have everything the same in my life, because otherwise it becomes really all consuming, and I don't want my love of nature and beauty and creativity to become like work. So I realised I really need like proper switch off time. So my medicine, I've written rest, switch off, and Netflix, because actually like that weekend, like I can remember, like think of a couple of weekends in the last year where I have literally just switched off everything, not looked at social media, not looked at my emails, just read a novel for the pure joy of it, not because it's in any way enlightening, educational, or anything to do with personal development. It's just a really good story. Or I just watch something, like watch films, watch stuff on Netflix or whatever, and it's just purely for fun and relaxation. And then at the end of that weekend, I've just come out of it feeling like a new person. And I find it really difficult to do. And when I'm in the thick of it, I often feel like there's something wrong, I've lost my mojo, I've lost my creative spark, what's going on? But actually, I probably need to schedule in like a monthly day where I just don't even get dressed, just like proper zone out, no interaction, no usefulness. And actually that can bring me my shine, as much as, if I keep plowing on, like I've got to be creative, I've got to be making things, I've got to be doing stuff, then like that does bring me my shine, but only if it's coming like flowing and coming naturally, and it won't if I don't allow that time for rest and downtime. And that includes having space and time to be able to do that. And also, I've got quite a sort of routine, which I stick to, like my kind of morning routine. And I think that does really help me sort of keep me going. And I really value it. But also sometimes just doing something completely different from the routine is just really mind expanding. So I think the question about what opens me up. So last Tuesday, me and Andrew got up at 5 in the morning and we drove up to Snettisham to see the knots murmurating. And it was literally probably the most beautiful thing I can remember seeing for a long time. It was incredible. I think they said I don't know how many birds there were that day, but the day before there was 140,000 of these birds. And basically, as the tide comes in, they get bunched up and bunched up and bunched up and bunched up until there's no more beach left. And then like birds of prey start coming in and hovering, and they all of a sudden there's this like rush of sound, and they swoop up into the air, and they do that thing where they just create those amazing shapes. And it was like, I can't remember the last time something took my breath away. I was just like, jaw dropping. So I think just doing something, and we drove home and we were both at work for the rest of the day, and we were a bit like, oh my God, after getting up at 5 in the morning, but it was so worth it just to do something different from the routine. But we'd both been in awful moods for like weeks before, and then we did that, and we were both like, it just like flipped us out of that kind of rut. So I think, yeah, a bit of spontaneity, definitely. A bit more spontaneity, a bit more lying on the sofa. Anyway, I've probably talked enough, so yeah, thanks. And open to feedback as well.
Rachel, would you be able
Oh,
to share what your morning practice looks
sorry, you're breaking up, Kayla. I can't hear. I didn't catch that.
Oh, this obviously is not the place for my desk then. Really bad connection. Can you hear me?
And now, yeah.
I was just wondering if you'd be open to sharing your morning routine.
Oh, yeah. So it's based on, I've been doing an Ayurveda course with Lou Kitchener. I don't know if you know her. So she's a yoga teacher. So she's doing a course called Evolve, which I've just finished actually for the last 2 years. I've been doing that. And it's based on Ayurveda. So morning routine involves, well, I've probably adapted it to fit me, but getting up, I don't do this, getting up before 6. I don't quite manage that. But ideally having like stillness first thing. So meditation, and hydrating, drinking a lot of water, hot water first thing with lemon. It's really sorts me out. And then movement, so getting moving. And that can be anything from like a few star jumps or like a bit of yoga through to like going for a run, but pretty much every morning now I do something to kind of just get the blood flowing. That feels really important now that I'm working from home, and just otherwise I'd just be like out of bed and just sat down. So that it just sets me up really well for the day. I do all of that before breakfast, but it definitely doesn't happen, especially this time of year when it's pitch dark at 6 o'clock. If I can get up at 6:30, then I feel like I'm winning. 7's pretty good. And then, then there's like a whole, like there's basically like based on this sort of 10 healthy habits based on Ayurveda, which include lots about the seasons of the year and your own individual dosha. And it's a 2-year course, so that's obviously just like a little snippet. And getting to bed early is really key as well, so that you can get up early. But I know when I do those things I do feel a lot better for it. And having I don't have to think now when I wake up. I just get up and I just do these things, and that really helps. So I'm not lying in bed going, oh, I don't know what to do first. It's just like boop, 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 boop. So yeah, that helps.
Rachel, I was going to say that when you're talking about the spontaneity and the early rise, going to see the birds, not only was your face like smiling, but all of ours were too. So just that mirroring of like when we do something that is actually good for ourselves, actually the knock-on effect is really huge. Even if we don't go and shout about it, your energy, the everything we pick that up if we're around you. So yeah, I think that's just something I just really noticed then. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, Rach, that I just so admire your ability to do that. Your morning routine and everything. Yeah, just massive inspiration and admiration. Yeah.
It's really weird how certain things have actually become habits now. It's like I wouldn't think twice about there's certain things that I do in the morning now that I just wouldn't consider not doing. And it's only when I don't do them that I notice the difference in a way. So I feel like that is the sure sign that they've become quite embedded in my life. Because sometimes, I can think, oh, I don't really need to meditate today. I don't really need to do that. Or, oh, I just don't want to get out and do any exercise. But inevitably, if I do that for a couple of days, I just feel crap by the end of it. It's like, oh, I used to feel like this all the time, or like a bit like this all the time. It's like when I look back now on my university days and think, I used to drink a little bit most days. I was always slightly hungover, and now if I have one glass of wine, I'm like, oh, I feel terrible. And I think, I used to feel like this all the time, I just didn't know. So I think it's that, it's like, yeah. And it's taken me like a long time as well. So don't think I just kind of woke up one day and was like, I'm going to do this thing. It's taken a while to embed it. But yeah, thanks.
So I actually quite, even though I wrote down those questions, I actually really quite struggled to get anywhere close to them really, and identify with them, with where I am at the moment with my situations. So instead, I started to think about or feel into what even just gets me up in the morning at the moment. You know, what is helping me just get through the transition from bed to kitchen to out the door, which sounds quite extreme, and it's where I am right now. So yeah, I guess that was about my ability to just even, you know, just making a cup of tea, kind of self-care, you know, thinking about what I need in a given moment. And yeah, quite recently it has just been, I need to sit here, or I need to make myself a tea, or I need to have some food. And although I haven't got the energy to make the bestest of food, I'm going to try not to make it the worstest of food. So yeah, and I find medicine in nature, going out for walks. That to me is really healing. And I think the reason why that is because I see so many mirrors when I'm out in nature of my life, and it's almost like a conversation. It's a communication, and not one way. And I find lessons through my walks, and almost sort of like nature almost gifts me with ideas of how to cope with situations. Whether I see like a resilient tree that has been broken and then it grows again, or I see the trees letting go of their leaves, and you know, that for me saying, okay, let everything go that doesn't serve me. That for me is great medicine. And also more recently I've realized how much I need people around me. And I think in my life I've been and had to be quite independent, and anything other than that felt like a weakness to me. And now I feel more comfortable to reach out and ask for help, and that's really helping. And I was just speaking to Kate in the other room that actually even though I don't know what I'm doing in the moment, like speaking to a friend, I don't know what the actual outcome will be. I don't know what that's going to come out with. Is it going to help me? Is it going to make things better? It's the process of doing it, like the actual picking up the call or sending a message or being discerning about who I will speak to, because then I connect in with, you know, my trust and what I need and how I can serve that. The processes of doing things really at the moment for me. And this morning I did a very short yoga practice of just breathing. And when we just did that thing this morning of just landing here and just connecting with our breath, like it's just so, I don't do that for myself. I've never done that before. That was the first time I've done that with people, and I was like, this is really lovely. I think I now might do this for myself. So yeah, And you know what, just not being so hard on myself, just allowing what is to be and accepting what is that I can't change, and going from there really. So I've probably not got that much wisdom right now to give out. Yeah, but for me, I'm just feeling good that I can be here today and share. So yeah, thanks for listening, loves.
Did you want any feedback or not, Shona?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear anything really. Thanks.
I just want to say, if you can hear me, that you do have wisdom because you've just been your authentic true self and told us how it is for you, and that is medicine for others, I think, anyway. So you have that wisdom. So, and your ideas are wonderful, and you're it's so lovely that you're just so true to your connection with nature, and it's like this relationship that you have together, and you will always have that. And that's so beautiful to hear about it. So thank you for sharing that gift, you know.
Yeah, I echo Kayla in saying that, yeah, you have so much wisdom. God, just being you, just right now showing up. Yeah, absolutely beautiful, Shona. And your courage and your willingness to do that is really inspiring. So love you, girl.
Yeah, seconded. Like, if it wasn't for yesterday's session, I would have said much the same as what you've just said about the last few weeks. Like, I get up because Bram barks. I need a walk, Dad. And, yeah. So, and then to hear you translate the arrival that you gave us this morning, and I did manage to hear it. I was there for that part, even though I didn't have the camera. It was beautiful, and for you to translate that and go, actually, that was lovely. I could do that again. That fed that to me. I could do that again too. Thank you.
Okay, I'll share next. Yeah, it was really helpful to do the breakout with Shona because I think we're in kind of similar emotional kind of spaces. And yeah, I suppose this is a feedback as well as part of my thing, Shona, but like what you shared was so full of wisdom and really helpful to me, so thank you. And yeah, I think I'll also echo another thing that it's very much I'm trying to focus more on the process because my I don't even know what I don't really want to call it anything negative hooks that go on in my brain. They'll like hook into the not good enoughs or like outcomes of any creativity, and that's why this is a big step for me doing things is that if it's not good enough as an outcome, then that my worth is attached to that. So I am kind of trying to break that down and just go, it's the process that's the medicine, and rather than like joy and inspiration are too bigger words for me right now. So it's like, well, I used to feel content and happy back when I was a potter and a creative person. So perhaps they'll help me get to that space again in my life now. So that's, I suppose, the motivation to give it a try. Because Shona helped me kind of break that down to motivation rather than inspiration, because it felt rather huge for myself. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to share. So thank you for listening.
I'll go. Oh, Rachel's going. Okay.
Oh, I was just are you wanting some feedback, Kate?
Yeah, I was gonna just add something else actually, that the fact that I now have friends that can sit with me in the dark spaces has been a massive thing for me, that to acknowledge the fact that that's okay, because I've always had people that wanted to fix me before. So I feel very grateful to have spaces like this and the people in my life that are now, because it's given me the opportunity to explore that, and I believe now that I will grow from it. So thank you all.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really really value what you said about, you know, sometimes inspiration can feel like too big a word, and I really love, I think you were talking about curiosity earlier, and I really love what Elizabeth Gilbert talks about when she talks a lot about not waiting for inspiration or this kind of, you know, feeling of this kind of creative genius to show up in your life, because if we all do that, we'll be waiting for a really long time. But it's just about following those little sparks of curiosity and trusting that they will lead you somewhere, and you might not know where, and it might lead you somewhere completely different to where you were thinking of, but it's just, if you're curious about it, then it's worth pursuing. And it feels like that's really what you're doing, and it's wonderful. And yeah, I think like you make really beautiful pottery, and it's really wonderful that you're kind of following that creative spark. And also totally hear you on the like, that's not meant to sound like a kind of any pressure of like you've got to make beautiful things, because actually like whatever you make will be wonderful. And it's like, it's all about the process. I think with creativity, that's something I'm trying to get more and more in tune with, is this idea of just following the process and trying not to worry too much about the outcome, which is a practice in itself. Really feels like a lifelong practice to me anyway. So well done for taking that leap and following the curiosity.
Thank you. It feels a lot like the happiness is the journey, not the destination, isn't it? The process outcome thing. Definitely a life practice. Thanks, Rachel.
To add to that, I'm still eternally grateful for that painting session last year, which was painting for process.
Oh, we have to do that again. I didn't admit I missed out. Let's do it.
Yeah, Kate, I wrote down what you said there. It's the process that's the medicine. I think that feels really, really, really powerful. Yeah. And I'm so happy and excited for you to, and just want to celebrate the fact that you're taking these steps to bring that creativity back into your life. And yeah, finding a way of doing it that makes it work for you, and it's doable and enjoyable, and yeah, doesn't put any pressure on. But yeah, you've totally got this, man. It's going to be amazing, because you are amazing and you are so talented. I can't even begin to tell you how talented you are. And yeah, I just love you. I just love you. I love you. And yeah, I will hold that excitement and that inspiration and that joy until you're ready, or until you're ready to feel it, or you're ready to embrace it, or but massive admiration for you, just changing the words and saying, actually, inspiration feels too much and it's motivation that I'm going to stick with, and that's beautiful. Thank you for that. That's massively wise.
Love you, Kate. And also just a reminder of what we said a little minute ago, of that the process is actually what builds the relationship between us and the thing, what we do. You know, the end thing isn't the relationship, it's what took us, that journey that we went on to get there. So the process is our relationship building with ourselves, right? So yeah, wishing you great processes. Mwah.
I love that. I just wanted to say yes to your wisdom, Shona. The process is our relationship building with ourselves. Wow. That's a gift. God, do you mind if I go now? I'm feeling called to go. Just that I really resonate with that whole outcome thing. I feel like I've become so driven towards that I keep losing sight of what I've got. So, I'm going to get all emotional. I broke out into a different room because I was like, I don't want to just blah and start crying in front of everybody, but now it's happening anyway. Oh my goodness. Just feeling quite wobbly at the moment with like what I'm doing with the wild woman dancing and trying to be all kind of formal with like pricing and I suppose maybe too outcome driven and forgetting the magic of why I'm doing it. And it was lovely that Amy kind of reminded me of kind of to enjoy, just to remember how magical it was to dance in my garden with wonderful women. And it was so special, and it was like a retreat for the soul. And I just need to keep that in my mind, because I've become very heady with kind of like doing this workshop training with Jackie. And then I've bought this bloody how to sustain your Facebook group and all about funnels and fucking hell. And it's all just, it's just got a lot to learn. And I'm not sure if I'm being very kind to myself, actually. And I'm forgetting to do like the basic things like have a shower or drink water. You know? Yeah, so for me, I wrote, what brings me my shine is to have a shower because I smell. I haven't had a shower for about 2.5 weeks. And, you know, and yes, it is really hard having 2 children. Like I do actually physically never have time, but I could make some time. I could prioritize myself over other things, you know. So yeah, I just think I may be not being as kind to myself. Yeah, and I wrote this, which actually made me think. Actually, I wrote about when you said what keeps you going, and I wrote, like other people keep me going, which is interesting because I think, is that okay actually? I've always in the past like leaned so heavily on other people to try and make me feel better. And like my sister figure, she's like my best friend, she is such a fixer. And I used to be such a fixer actually. And it's really interesting what you were saying, Kate, about that actually, about who you surround yourself with and just finding the tribe of people who hold you rather than fix you. So I wrote, what keeps me going is I believe in connecting with others, which is integral to my place in the world. And that really, it felt really lovely to say that, but also it felt a bit like, oh, is that okay? But yeah, just because I'm feeling a bit like lonely and not having very many people to play with, and kind of learning who my tribe is, I suppose. And another thing I realized about the whole self-worth of having children is what I tend to do with Jonah is like I judge my parenting and if I'm good enough him based on how he engages with me. So if he doesn't engage with an activity, I like then take it all on myself, like, and like I failed and I'm not a good mum, and like I realize I'm pinning my own self-worth on him, which isn't fair on him. What a responsibility to give a 5-year-old, but also that's really unkind to myself. So that's felt really significant actually. And I think that's the one amazing thing that children do, is it really reflects what you need to heal and like those patterns that you have from childhood. So that was like, that's a real eye-opener for me. And what I wrote opens me up is playing with my kids, because then I learn to be in the moment and I embrace it and I let go of like what you said about the outcome. And like this morning we danced around in the living room and I kept nearly wanting to like control it and be like, oh, let's do this with the dance, you know? And then it's like, no, like he's dancing, he's doing what he wants to do. Like, let's just dance with him and be his partner in the dance rather than trying to be his teacher all the time. It's really exhausting to constantly trying to teach your children and that pressure. Yeah, so just being in the moment of the play this morning with them and dancing to music was wonderful. And then he did some painting and just I let him get on with that, and just he did painting, and then we went in the garden and did some gardening, and I've been wanting that so much. So yeah, I felt really blessed today to have that, and I didn't force anything and I didn't control it. So I'm learning how to like work with how to invite that sense of play rather than try and prescribe it. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, thank you everybody. Yeah, and any welcome feedback is welcome if you would like or not.
Yeah, I think it's coming back to this amazing thing that the process is the medicine, right? And yeah, I love what you said about remembering the magic and remembering actually what you've got, what you have done, how far you've come. And I know it's so difficult to get, maybe, yeah, I feel like that's kind of a bit of a cue for me as well. Like when I realise that I'm getting too hung up on the outcomes or numbers or, you know, all these things, that's kind of like a bit of a sign for me to be like, oh, hang on, I think I'm placing my value on that. I'm placing, you know, am I good enough if, you know, if I've got X, Y, and Z, when actually it's like flipping it on its head and being like the magic of how you feel, you know, how it felt when we were all dancing in your garden and we were just kind of, yeah, living in that beautiful moment, that beautiful space that you created and held for us, and yeah, dancing in the elements and with the elements and intentionally bringing that is so powerful and so magic. Yeah, it was such medicine for me being a participant in that. So Yeah, thank you, Kayla. And I'll remind you as many times as you need.
Yes, please. Much. Yeah, totally need that. Thank you.
Kayla, what came to me was in a world where there's an awful lot of pressure and examples that we perhaps think that we might need to meet and do what they do, to be able to look at your children and, you know, be present with them, and those moments of joy that come through that play, and you know, I can hear it in you that you know and you value play so much. The fact that you're even like talking about it, acknowledging it, and wanting to invite a sense of play, you said, to invite more of a sense of play into your life rather than controlling it. Like, that's massive. That's massive in a world that is just so not geared around that, you know, unfortunately. And fortunate that we're people that want to bring that into life. So yeah, well done. Fucking hell, I can't even imagine. So I think you're doing a bloody great job for what it's worth, me saying it. And yeah, thanks for sharing, Kayla. Fucking brilliant.
Thank you very much. I need to give myself more of a pat on the back with the whole parenting, because it is really fucking hard. Thank you.
I just let all of that wash over me as like a bath, because just all of it was brilliant. The one thing that I can remember, because I made myself remember it, was prioritizing yourself. And I can remember waking up, I think about 2 days since we've last met, and actually getting up early, having a shower, washing my hair, doing my hair, shaving, like making myself presentable, putting on a shirt, and I felt amazing both times, for no other reason than I'd done it. Everything else felt a razz, but it was fine because I felt good. So, yeah, just really felt that part the most. But yeah, all of it. You are doing amazing and doing what you love. Dancing in the garden with women. It just reminds you how magical it is, and how many people need this, and how you need to give it. Yeah, I thought that's why I started giving away sessions again, because I need that magic. I need to remember what it's like to do sessions to help me do everything else that needs to be done. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, James. And thank you so much for reminding me as well. Like, I've made an effort so much this last week or two to actually get out of my pajamas. I'm going to put my dungarees on and I'm going to feel good.
I'll go next if that's okay. Don't really know what I'm going to say. I think for me, I've really learned just give myself a fucking break this past month, and because I do so much, I really realize how much logistical stuff that I do, you know, whether it's timing, whether it's sending emails, whether it's trying to be in the right place at the right time. I feel like kind of adding the extra stuff of, okay, so I need to have this goal done by this time and blah 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 blah. So I'm kind of just giving myself permission to just really embrace the mess. That yeah, I literally make physical mess. Like, you know, when I'm cooking, I'm quite a messy cook. Like I've got like folders of things, and I feel like I want to put this in this folder and that in this folder. You know, I always kind of want to, because it's helpful to have things organized for sure. But I also feel like I do manage, and I have managed for like 20 years somehow. So yeah, just realizing that it's okay to kind of be a bit like free with whatever I'm doing. So obviously, you know, it's important. I feel like I really value kind of the necessary logistics in terms of helping people to feel safe, or making sure that I'm safe, and, you know, blah blah blah, and that I'm taking care of myself. But yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is this kind of what inspires me to keep going is keeping that fluidity and allowing the things, the cycles and everything to be like, okay, so today I'm feeling more like I've got a to-do list, I'm going to write the things that I need to do on my to-do list, and I'm going to do them. And then other days I'm going to be like, don't even show me that to-do list, because I'm not even going to try and do it. And just giving myself permission to make that okay, and not force myself to do anything that doesn't feel 100% like I'm not going to give it 100%. So yeah, they were really great questions to reflect upon, and I will reflect more upon them, I think. And I love what you said, Shona, about kind of taking like the snippets of goals, because yeah, I've learned so much from you guys already, and I've just been writing things down. More spontaneity, more rest. The process is the medicine. Just so much good stuff in there. And remembering the magic for sure. Yeah. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for listening. Yeah, any feedback welcome, but also not necessary if no one feels called.
I just love what you said about the to-do lists, and giving yourself permission to have days off the to-do lists. That's yeah, definitely something I could take on board for sure. I feel like, and also embracing the, I don't know, meandering, or the, I don't know, I don't want to say mess because it has a certain connotation, but I feel like I work in a non-linear, very chaotic fashion, and I have about 15 notebooks and loads of folders and stuff everywhere, and I give myself a really hard time about it, and yet I still manage to function. So maybe I just need to stop squashing myself into a particular box and just embrace the creative mayhem. So yeah, thank you for that. That was a lovely gem of wisdom.
Amy, I loved what you said about the flow, actually, because I'm really trying to be a lot gentler with myself. Oh, why am I not feeling it today? Like a week ago, I was so buoyant and loads of ideas, and I'm like, oh yeah, but then I was in my summer, and now I'm in my whirlwind. And actually, like what you said about how the groove is flowing for you, and it feels really open, and like acknowledging when we have muddy days And if you feel like you're swimming the wrong way, going upstream, and you can't because it's really hard, you're not going with your flow. And I really love that idea of just acknowledging that and working with it, you know, as a necessity part of kind of being alive, really, isn't it? And not flowing, let it go.
And it will come there, and it will come back another day, maybe. You know, it's not like it's gone forever. Yeah, thanks, Taylor. Okay, next persona. James, I think you're left.
Yeah. I'm figuring out which bits to say. So, a thing that definitely will helps me take my seat is landing where I am. Thanks, Shona. That is definitely a thing. As soon as I stand at my desk, I'm here. What am I here to do? Do it. Get out. That's going to be big. Why do I keep going? To create what I would love, for no other reason than that I would love it. That was quite a big answer. And things that bring me shine are Dream Co-Creators sessions, prioritizing myself, and taking 5 minutes. I had a thing called 5 Minutes Peace, where I was going to record 5 minutes of peaceful sounds all around the county or travels or wherever. And like put them out once a week or something, so people could just take 5 minutes. Yeah, take 5 minutes. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks. Lovely question to think about. Feedback welcome.
James, thanks. I love the take the 5 minutes, you know. I actually think, again, we don't live in a world where we're offered those 5 minutes. They're not given readily to us. And we do need to stand in our power and ask them or take them. I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and I realised that we both didn't know really what we wanted the answer to be. So what came was, I need thinking time. And when I was a special needs teacher, I would give the children thinking time. They would have an actual question mark or a coloured piece of card that if they didn't know what they needed in that moment, they'd put the thinking card up so that I could know that they were with me, but they just needed their own time. And I think if we could all just have our own little thinking time cards or 5 minute cards and just be really in our power with it and say, here's my fucking thinking time card, all right? This is what I'm using right now. And I need these 5 minutes. So yeah, love it, James. Love it. Thank you for sharing. And I just love listening to you working things out and thinking about you landing at your desk and what am I here to do, and the love thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I will stop talking, but the love thing, yeah, only no other reason than I love it. No other reason than I love it. Power to that, big time, because then all sorts can come, right? Nice one, James.
That's the Sufis, isn't it? All art has no purpose, something like that. Yeah, no purpose other than they would love to create it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the 5 minutes, 5 minutes of peace. Oh, well, as soon as you said that, I was just like, oh, what a magical gift. I just, yeah, I've been doing a mindful photography course for the last 4 weeks, which has been brilliant. And in the course yesterday, one of the things we needed to do is just find a spot to sit and look for 10 minutes. And we could take some photos if we wanted to, but we didn't have to. We could just sit and look. And I was like, oh, someone's just given me permission to just sit and look out of the window or wherever for 10 minutes. And then it just really occurred to me, like, I don't need someone else's permission to do that, do I? I could just do that every day if I wanted to. So that's, yeah, just really a really nice like reminder of something that feels quite current for me at the moment. Just, yeah, taking those little moments of time out to just be was really good and important. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I just posted one in the group selected at random. I don't know if it's a good one or not.
What did you do, James?
Posted one of the audios that I recorded in the group,
Oh,
the
yay.
WhatsApp group.
It reminded me, James, I just actually, and I'd forgotten that I tried to set myself an alarm and wrote, it was like my breathing time. And I would give myself like 5 minutes in the day to sit and take some breaths. I wasn't very good at sticking to it actually, but that could be something that could be really good. Like if you set an alarm and you put some really nice music, like gong, and it goes off at a certain time of the day, and that time every day you gift yourself like 5-10 minutes. And then we might do it for ourselves, wouldn't we? Because it's like, it's not me doing it, it's someone else, it's another thing.
There's apps for that. There's apps for that. You can get an app where you schedule in how many times or how often you want the gong or whatever sound you like to go off. And I remember doing it on a volunteering project in Scotland in the gardens, and we would just put down tools because the gong had gone off on our mentor's phone, and that was our time to just sit, observe the flowers or the sky, whatever it was in that moment, even if we were in the middle of like digging out the compost or whatever it was. And yeah, I love that, and thanks for the reminder, because I think I'm gonna search for that in the apps again. Great.
Can you share it with us if you find it, Shona? Up, girl, dig it up.
All right, so how's everyone doing? Should we unmute and like just come together?
Can I just share that it feels quite ceremonial because I've come to the end of my journal. It's like quite a big thing actually, and I'm going to be starting a new journal around Samhain, which is quite amazing. So just wanted to make that really, because it's been part of the journey, and this very much been my empowered health journal as well. So much nuggets of wisdom in here. It's going to be quite hard to, you know, start a new thing, and I hope I don't forget all of this.
Why don't you, Kayla, why don't you take your 10 minutes of quiet and ceremoniously, that word? Kind of close that one and get ready to open your new one. That sounds really powerful.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm wondering whether we should just take like, if everyone's got like just 2 minutes just to kind of like come back to ourselves and then say our cheerios. So yeah, if we'd maybe just close our eyes. Feel our bottoms on the chairs or beds or sofas, floors. Noticing our breath again. It's the same breath that was there before. And it's always there. Just ready for those 5 minutes, that thinking time. Or when that gong goes off, just to check into. And that we have this group, the power of this circle of us. And Zoe and Robin and Sue. And, you know, we have our WhatsApp group, we have each other. And even when we feel like not perhaps sharing something in the group, knowing that we're all there together and we've just experienced the opening and the listening today. And I really hope that we can all hold that with us and take it through our days. And I'm going to stretch and welcome in my day. Oh, I love you all.
Yay! Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. Let's give ourselves a big hug and imagining we're hugging each other as well.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
And there was just something I wanted to say because we talked a lot about the breath today, and I used to go to these mantra classes when I lived in Kent, and the teacher would always say about how the breath was the first mantra we ever learned, and it will be the last one we ever do.
Oh.
And it's so hum, so on the in breath and hum on the out.
Oh, it's beautiful, Kate.
It helps you to stay with your breath if you find your mind's busy as well, to think of those words.
What do the words mean, Kate? So and hum?
So and hum is just the noise of the breath. I don't know
Oh,
the I didn't go that deeply into it yet. So.
Thank you, Kate.
Wonderful, yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's so lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for as well coming over time. I know it's like 10 to 1. We were like, yeah, we won't make it till 1.
I honestly think that we would really value 2.5 hours each time, because that's what we pretty much do anyway. And we always say, oh, are we okay to go over? So if we just say, let's do 2.5 hours, we can always cut it short.
Kate, can I just say, I would so love to dive and delve more into walking with you and your land stuff that you've offered at some point.
Yeah.
If we could talk more at some point, because I'm just feeling really drawn to that right now. So.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, that would be fun.
Amazing. Amazing. Everybody needs to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you in. Is Saturday afternoon seems to work good. So it seems to work well with Pete.
It works good, Amy.
It works good.
Some Saturdays I have work.
Failing me now. Sorry, Shona.
Some Saturdays I have got work, but it's like, I think it's once a month or something like that. So I'll just check in when we set dates and stuff. Have we set dates or?
No, not for November yet.
Okay.
Saturday afternoons are better for me just because I'm still doing this training course.
Yeah.
James, but sometimes I can switch to Tuesdays, but I think that ends at the middle of November anyway, doesn't it? I think so. Should be.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay then, lovely. Have a lovely rest of the day. And
Yeah, thanks.
All right, lots of love.
loads of love.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Bye.